Hello, myself Dr. Wajid Mughal. I am DM Nephrology, consultant nephrologist in Department of Nephrology, MGM Medical College and Hospital, Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Here I am going to present a case of postpartum psychosis with the Sheehan syndrome, a rare case report and a brief review of titration. Coming back to the introduction, Sheehan syndrome is a postpartum hypopituitarism caused by necrosis of the pituitary gland due to sudden hypovolemia. It is usually the result of severe hypotension or shock caused by massive hemorrhage during or after delivery. 40 years ago, it was estimated that the prevalence of Sheehan syndrome was about 100 to 200 per 1 lakh women. In 2009, retrospective nationwide investigation in Iceland reported that the prevalence of Sheehan syndrome was estimated to be 5.1 per in 1 lakh women. The criteria for the diagnosis of Sheehan syndrome includes typical obstetric history of the severe postpartum vaginal bleeding, severe hypotension or shock for which blood transfusion or fluid replacement is necessary, failure of postpartum lactation, failure to resume regular menses after delivery, partial or panhypopituitarism, and empty sella on CT scan or MRI. Here we report an unusual case with the symptoms of Sheehan syndrome and postpartum psychosis. Coming back to the case report, a 28-year-old female G2P2L2 with the 8-month ANC complaints of fever with the chills, dry cough, breathlessness on exertion, vomiting, abdominal pain, malaise and loss of appetite since 15 days. She was admitted to the other hospital and diagnosed as viral hemorrhagic fever with the intrauterine fetal death, where she was intubated and ventilated due to acute respiratory distress syndrome. She was treated with IV antibiotics, transfusion of the blood products in the form of packed cell volume and platelet. She undergo tracheostomy after 7 days due to prolonged intubation. On 10th day, patient was referred to us with the tracheostomy tube, presented with the confusion, shortness of breath, facial puffiness, pedal edema and anemia. Ultimately, she was sent to emergency department and admitted in the intensive care unit with the hemorrhagic shock. A detailed history from the relatives revealed that the patient had excessive bleeding in the course of her first delivery at the age of 22 years. Patient's relative noticed progressive increasing weakness, skin pallor and gradual loss of weight for the past 1 month before she came to hospital. Menstrual and obstetric history showed menarche at the 16 years of age with a normal cycle of 30 plus 2 days with a flow for 5 to 6 days. G2P2L2 with the history of normal deliveries in the past. This is the picture of the patient. The family history of the similar symptoms and previous history of the diabetes and hypertension were not found. Physical examination showed a thin, pale, middle-aged woman who appeared somewhat lethargic. Her face was expressionless. The skin was pale light brown and of smooth and delicate texture. Patchy pigmentation was seen. There was yellowish of the skin, sclera and urine. Her breast tissue was normal, but the areola were depigmented. She had no pubic or axillary hairs. The clinical examination on arrival confirmed that the state of the shock with the pulse rate of 80, blood pressure of 80 by 60 mm of mercury, respiratory rate 32 and cold periphery and pale conjunctiva. Patient was conscious with the eye opening, confused, not responding to verbal command, and she was ill looking. Lung shows bilateral basal crackles. Abdominal examination revealed ascites with the hepatosplenomegaly. CNS examination revealed generalized muscle and fat wasting with the delayed relaxation of the ankle reflexes. Fundus shows normal optic discs. Thyroid profile shows very low level of T3, T4 and undetectable TSH, that is less than 0.0001, suggestive of secondary hypothyroidism. Hormone profile reveals low level of serum cortisol and serum ACTH. Her chest radiography shows resolving pneumonia and USG abdomen pelvis shows ascites. Lab investigation shows that anemia with the pancytopenia with the hemoglobin of 6.9, total count of 3500 and platelet counts what 60,000. Glucose in the blood chemistry is 68 with the deranged liver and kidney function. Total bilirubin is 16.8, direct bilirubin is 14, SGOT 90, SGPT 660, and blood urea 96 with the serum creat of 2.6, total protein of 5.6 and albumin 1.6. Urine analysis shows trace albumin at 15 to 20%. Plasma electrolyte shows sodium of 125 and potassium 3.5. On the basis of history, examination and investigation, we suspect of Sheehan syndrome with multi-organ failure. The brain MRI showed a diminutive pituitary lesion in the sella turcica. There was no evidence of hemorrhage, intracranial mass or aneurysm. Clinical suspicion of the Sheehan syndrome due to postpartum psychosis was confirmed. Immediate care involved vascular expansion with the colite by central venous catheter followed by IV antibiotics, IV fluid, transfusion of the blood products. After 2 weeks, tracheostomy closure was done along with the removal of central venous catheter. She was put on tablet thyroxine 100 microgram per day and tablet prednisolone 10 mg per day along with the oral iron and multivitamins. Patient improved completely in 1 month with the given treatment and was discharged on regular follow-up. Patient was followed for the 6 weeks, after which a complete hematological recovery was noted with a eucorticosolic and euthyroid state. In fact, the hematological abnormality dramatically improved. Her hemoglobin was 11, leukocyte count was 6500 and platelet count was 220,000, all within the normal range. This case has been presented with the view to highlight the unusual case with worse symptoms of Sheehan syndrome due to postpartum psychosis. Coming back to the discussion, Sheehan syndrome refers to postpartum hypopituitarism as a result of pituitary necrosis occurring during the severe hypotension or shock secondary to massive bleeding during or just after delivery. Though the first described by the scientist H. L. Sheehan in 1837, it was known as Simon's disease until 1939, when Sheehan described the disease was due to postpartum necrosis of the anterior pituitary following postpartum hemorrhage. In his own most recent review, Sheehan stated that whereas only 65 cases were described in the medical literature from 1908 to 1939 and 104 cases and 154 cases were reported between the years 1939 to 1949 and 1949 to 1953 respectively. Adenohypophyseal ischemic necrosis following hypoperfusion is the cause of adenohypophyseal insufficiency. The underlying process leading to Sheehan syndrome is the infarction of the physiological enlarged pituitary gland, particularly anterior lobe, secondary to grossly decreased blood supply during the intrapartum or postpartum events. Though vasospasm, autoimmunity, small cella size and disseminated intravascular coagulation may also have the role in the development of Sheehan syndrome, none has been conclusively proven. The clinical presentation of the Sheehan syndrome from the long-standing non-specific features such as weakness, fatigue and anemia to profound abrupt hypopituitarism resulting in the coma and death. The mean duration between the postpartum bleeding and the subsequent development of the symptoms varies from 1 to 33 years. Characteristic manifestations include failure to lactate or to resume menses, genital and axillary hair loss, asthenia and weakness, fine wrinkles around the eyes and lips, sign of premature aging, dry skin, hypopigmentation and other evidence of hypopituitarism. Uncommonly, it can present acutely with the circulatory collapse, severe hyponatremia, diabetes insipidus, hypoglycemia and congestive cardiac failure or psychosis. The extent of anterior pituitary dysfunction varies in the different series. The main involvement was the secretion of growth hormone and prolactin, that is 90 to 100%, while the deficiency in the cortisol secretion, gonadotropin and thyroid stimulating hormone range from 50 to 100%. Lactation failure is a very common clinical feature, and the lack of prolactin administration of the thyrotropin releasing hormone has been suggested a procedure for screening of patients suspected to have Sheehan syndrome. This is the pathophysiology of the Sheehan syndrome, that is postpartum hemorrhage will lead to hypotension. There is enlarged pituitary of the pregnancy, which again leads to some complication like disseminated intravascular coagulation, postpartum pituitary necrosis, which leads to amenorrhea, lactation failure, secondary adrenal insufficiency and hypothyroidism. Hyponatremia is the most common electrolyte disturbances occurring in 33 to 69% of all cases. Hypothyroidism and glucocorticoid deficiency by decreasing free water clearance independent of vasopressin cause hyponatremia. Syndrome of inappropriate antidiuretic hormone secretion and volume depletion are the other factors leading to hyponatremia. And clinical diabetes insipidus is apparently an uncommon complication of the postpartum pituitary necrosis occurring in about 5% of all cases. Hematological abnormalities are common and include normocytic normochromic anemia, pancytopenia, and acquired factor 8 and 1 Willebrand factor deficiency. In a study of 40 patients with the Sheehan syndrome, anemia, thrombocytopenia, pancytopenia were described in 87%, 60%, and 15% respectively. Anemia is well recognized as a feature of hypopituitarism. Gokal et al. Have recently reported hematological abnormalities in 65 patients with the Sheehan syndrome, and 80% of whom presented with the anemia compared with the 25% of the controls. Many hormonal deficiencies such as hypothyroidism, adrenal insufficiency, and gonadal hormonal deficiency can explain normochromic anemia in hypopituitarism. Pancytopenia as a result of adrenal hormone deficiency has not been clearly investigated. It is a consequence of the loss of effect of pituitary hormone on the metabolic reaction to the hematopoiesis, which is related to hypopituitarism. The presence of anti-pituitary antibodies has been demonstrated in some patients with the Sheehan syndrome, suggesting that an autoimmune pituitary process could be involved in this syndrome. It is proposed that the sequestered antigens due to tissue necrosis could trigger autoimmunity and may cause delayed hypopituitarism in this patient. The criteria for the diagnosis of Sheehan syndrome are as follows: typical obstetric history of intrapartum or postpartum bleeding, hypotension or shock, agalactia, failure to resume regular menses after delivery, hypopituitarism, and empty sella on the CT or MRI. The diagnosis of Sheehan syndrome is based on the feature of hormonal deficiency, suggesting obstetric history, decreased basal hormone levels, free T3, T4, TSH, cortisol, ACTH. The diagnosis can be made reliably in the presence of lactational failure, prolonged amenorrhea, and hypoglycemic crisis. The finding of a normal pulse rate in the presence of significant postural drop was noteworthy, as she had coexisting hypothyroidism and hypocortisolism. The delay in the diagnosis was probably due to her vague symptoms and inadequate obstetric history. The main radiological findings of the Sheehan syndrome is the image of empty sella around 70% of the patient, or partially empty sella around 30% of the patient. These findings on the MRI imaging characterize Sheehan syndrome and provide early confirmation of the clinical diagnosis. One of the scientists, that is Kaplan et al., reported that sequential MRI demonstrated the evidence of ischemic infarct in the pituitary gland with the enlargement, followed by gradual shrinkage to the pituitary atrophy. And the another scientist, that is Komatsu et al., reported that the serum anti-pituitary antibodies were positive in 70% of the patient with the empty sella, and suggested that anti-pituitary antibodies might be related to the development of pituitary atrophy and the consequent empty sella. The goal of the therapy is to replace deficient hormones. Treatment is important not only to correct the endocrine abnormalities but also to reduce the mortality due to hypopituitarism. The treatment of Sheehan syndrome is replacement of the deficient hormones. ACTH and TSH deficiency should be replaced with the glucocorticoid and thyroxine respectively. Gonadotropin deficiency and hypogonadism should be treated with the hormone replacement therapy. The goal of the therapy is to replace the deficient hormone. Treatment is important not only to correct the endocrine abnormalities but also to reduce the mortality due to hypopituitarism. The treatment of the Sheehan syndrome is replacement of the deficient hormone. ACTH and TSH deficiency should be replaced with the glucocorticoid and thyroxine respectively. Here is the MRI which showing the empty sella turcica. Coming back to the conclusion of the case report, diagnosis of the postpartum psychosis may be missed in a case of multi-organ failure or in case of Sheehan with the dyselectronemia. There is a great need for increased awareness of the postpartum hypopituitarism as a relatively common sequelae of pregnancy complicated by hemorrhage. Adequate measures should be taken to combat severe bleeding during delivery. History of postpartum hemorrhage, failure to lactate, and cessation of menses are important clues for the diagnosis. A simple replacement therapy with the thyroid and cortisol hormone result in complete recovery. Early diagnosis and appropriate treatment are necessary to reduce the morbidity and mortality of the patient. The patient can look forward to a normal life expectancy. Thank you.